Humans are at the top of the food chain. For centuries, we were the apex predators on Earth. But what if humanity was faced with a virus? And not just any virus, the worst kind. Just like in the Prime show Invincible, the Viltrumites were seen as basically gods until the Scourge virus hit. So what if the same thing happened to us? What if the next big virus turns out to be the end of humanity as we know it? First, it starts off slow, asymptomatic. It's building itself, spreading, rewriting the DNA of everyone you touch. The first symptoms appear, but they aren't uniform. In some, it's a mild fever. In others, it's a sudden catastrophic collapse of the nervous system. Research scientists all over the world start scrambling for a cure. But it's too late. Medical facilities are the first to fall. It's not just that there aren't enough beds. There aren't enough healthy doctors to staff them. In a world where everyone is a vector, the safe zones are gone in days. What's left of humanity are a few billionaires still in their bunkers. But they won't last long. If the virus does not get them, solitude and age will. As they rush to their silos in their self-interest, their bodyguards turn on them. It is full-on anarchy. As the mortality rate starts climbing towards 100%, research for a cure has effectively stopped because the last few scientists desperately working on a cure are now dead. The treadmill of civilization stops. Without young hands to maintain the grid, the lights go out.
She's gonna turn off.
What?
It's gonna turn off and it will never, ever turn back on.
Without engineers, the satellites begin their silent, fiery descent from orbit. 8 billion people fade into a haunting silence. But there is hope. There are a few who have survived, not by privilege, but purely on the graces of their genetic code. They are young and they are strong, so genetically shielded that these lucky few develop immunity to the virus after they recover. This is the foundation in which humanity will rebuild on. So where are we now? Think about it. In the last few years, we've seen wealth concentrated into the hands of a few, who think they own the future. On one hand, you have the expansionists like Elon Musk, demanding we procreate more just to keep the tax engine running, and the labor force cheap. On the other, you have figures like Bill Gates, who publicly worry that the world is drowning in overpopulation.
We need to be prepared for the next pandemic.
These are basically our Tedduses.
How do you have this?
Because I was the one who created it.
People look at COVID-19 and there are some stark similarities. Bill Gates is not just known for Microsoft. He's been linked to the Epstein files and multiple conspiracy theories. He is this kind of voodoo doll that all these communities are pricking with their own conspiracies. And it is unsurprising he has become the voodoo doll because he has always been the face of public health. But why would billionaires even want to make these diseases? And why are we creating viruses in labs to make them more deadly through research? For one, it could just be that humans enjoy playing God. Another could be medical warfare. These could be done to spread discord, dissent, and segregate the working class. Just look at how many cases of racially induced violence we saw during COVID. Lastly, and you guessed it, it is of course money. It makes the world go round. And for whoever wants it, it can also make the world stop. But who gave these billionaires the right to decide who breathes?
You're never breathing again.
You might be asking yourself, how would a virus like this even get to the population? Aren't they safely guarded? Just like in the show Invincible, when Omni-Man discovered Thaddeus had created not just the last virus that nearly wiped out his population, but he actually created a new, deadly, more potent one. You can understand why he was livid.
Do you know what you did? How many suffered and died?
No.
And later on in the show, Mark even had to stop Ellen from releasing the virus and carrying out Thaddeus' last mission to wipe out humanity. But in the real world, this wasn't just one vial. It was actually more like 323. Just a while back, it was reported that a high-security lab in Australia, through a freezer transfer error, lost 100 doses of Hendra, a virus with a 57% fatality rate. This would wipe out just over half the population. They also lost 223 vials of Lysa virus, which is essentially rabies. But this is not normal rabies. It was genetically refined for maximum lethality. It is a pathogen with a 100% cure rate the second it touches your nervous system. you know what else they lost? Vials of hantavirus. Sound familiar? Here's the part that's eerily similar to Invincible, okay? Is that these vials weren't released yesterday or even recently. They vanished in 2021. It took 2 years to even notice the breach. And this was only reported in 2024. And lo and behold, these are viruses we are seeing all around us now. So, what if it's just like the show? They're distracting us with this great war that's going on, but their last resort is actually just like the Scourge virus, eradicating us all. And what if the Scourge has already been released? Well, of course, the strong or immune
I'm immune.
may eventually survive it, and you may call that Darwinism, that only the strong survive. And maybe that's good for the long-term health of the planet.
Seek out the weakness that allowed this betrayal and purge it from our midst.
Cause, as it is, people these days are living longer and older, and not necessarily contributing to society. This increases the dependency ratio and tax burden for the younger generation. If we were truly worried about overpopulation, wouldn't it be easier to just continue what we're doing? Because at the pace we're going, with fertility rates dropping off a cliff all on its own, I think the world doesn't have to worry about overpopulation for that much longer.
Perfectly balanced, this whole thing should be.
If you like this sort of content and you want to find out how the world really works, do remember to like, share, and subscribe to my newsletter in the link in the description below.